This is the news from BBC. Tearful goodbye as Japan returns panda to China amid worsening ties. Thousands of people flocked to a zoo in Japan on Sunday to say farewell to the country's last two giant pandas who are set to return to China on Tuesday. Emotions ran high at the Ueno Zoo in Tokyo as people stood in line, some for as long as 3.5 hours to see twin cubs Xiao Xiao and Lele one last time. This comes at a very tense moment in relations between Tokyo and Beijing. Ties have sharply deteriorated after Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi said Tokyo would get involved militarily if China attacked Taiwan. The twins' departure will leave Japan without any pandas for the first time since 1972. The year the two countries normalized diplomatic ties. The People's Republic of China has used giant panda as a gesture of goodwill towards its international allies and competitors since it was founded in 1949. But China relays ownership of all pandas belongs to foreign countries, including cubs and born aboard. In return, host country pay an annual fee of about $1 million per pair of pandas. According to Tokyo's metropolitan government, some 108,000 people vie to get one of the 4,400 slots available for one last look at the zoo's beloved pandas. I have been bringing my son here since he was a baby, so I hope it becomes a good memory for him. I'm glad we could come today to remember them, Ai Shirakawa told the BBC. Another woman recalled witnessing the pandas' growth journey. Witnessing their growth, especially since they were so small, has been such a joy, she said. Xiao Xiao and Lele were born in 2021 at the Ueno Zoo to their mother Xin Xin and their father Li Li, both of whom were on loan to Japan for breeding research. Many pandas have been returned to China in recent years. A loan agreement typically lasts 10 years, although extensions are common. However, the prospects of a new panda loan to Japan have remained uncertain amid the escalating row. Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's comment on Taiwan angered Beijing, which views the self-governed island as a part of territory and hasn't ruled out the use of force to reunite with it. Both sides have since engaged in increasingly hostile action and rhetoric towards each other. Because there are many people vying for just a chance to have one last look to pandas, it seems that lost those pandas is a huge loss for Japan. But is that true? Actually, I found an interesting part says that, according to data from the zoo Adventure World in Shirahama, Wakayama, after all the pandas were taken back, their revenue stayed in an increasing trend rather than decreased. Why did it happen? The first, I think, is because of the high daily cost isn't so necessary anymore. While pandas are still in the zoo, they have paid for a highly daily expenses every day, including the specially grown bamboo for pandas, medical care, 24/7 air conditioning, and a professional care team represent extremely high daily expenses. After pandas away, the savings of over 100 million yen directly translate into profit, actually improving operational efficiency. And, of course, there's no zoo only shows pandas without any artisans. So now, the park and the local government are actively enhancing their attraction Adventure World itself already has an aquarium, a safari area, and an amusement park. The park is guiding visitors to focus on other animals, avoiding the impression that without pandas there's nothing fun to do. The second is the plan Return to the Origin, proposed by Mayor of Shirahama Town. Panda were once seen as a guarantee of tourism success, but these also brought extremely high diplomatic and maintenance costs. Now, the park has no longer need to rely on diplomatic maneuvering and can more freely invest in its budget in improving park facilities or local marketing, like Shirahama's own hot spring culture as one of Japan's 3 ancient hot springs, or beautiful beaches. In the past, pandas were a short-term incentive. Now, the goal is to develop Shirahama into a year-round tourist destination. So, although with these changes, local shopkeeper says business has almost remained unchanged, indicating that the core tourist demographic is very stable. In my opinion, honestly, the policy that China reclaiming the pandas is a little bit naive. I must say, are those of top officials really think that reclaiming panda is a huge threat? Or they just manage it and alert? It reminds me of a scenario while there is a dispute break out in children, they will say, "Oh, we're not friends anymore." Sure, I can understand it's a different situation. But even putting that aside, won't they think provoke a dispute in such a peaceful period is not a good idea? I don't really understand why there are always a part of people want to having a war. Our ancients dedicated all they had just for a peaceful life, a peaceful world. But why some of people want to make the world a complete mess? I can't. At least, I can't agree with them now. It's not only for an especially country or especially position. It's for all of the people. So, maybe I must be a little bit thankful thanks for such cute decision. And also, being glad to hear that Japanese are not affected by the panda diplomacy. Or maybe we can think again. Is panda diplomacy still effective to the world?